Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast we bring you each and every week. It's Monday. It's the Monday mashup. Marky, never a dull weekend when it comes to football, huh?
Definitely
Never a
not,
dull
folks. Definitely
weekend.
not.
How are you?
Looking
How's your
forward.
weekend?
I'm all good. Yeah, pretty standard. Wasn't feeling great over the weekend. Had a bit of a cold, and me still a bit kind of chesty. I might be a few coughs in here tonight, and
It's okay.
poor little Holly had hand, foot, mouth disease, so it's just been another hectic one. You know what? It's like having sick kids.
Man, could write the
Can't
book
catch a
on at
break.
this stage.
Can't catch a break the last month for Holly. So, but yeah, she's all right. She's getting there,
The main thing is the evenings are getting brighter. Spring and summer's on the way. That's all that's important.
100,
Saturday is
100%.
February. That's all we want to hear.
Exactly.
Right, before we kick off, of course, ultimately
Yes.
trophy here. We've
Yes.
a busy few months coming up, haven't we?
We do indeed. There's something that we'll talk about probably closer to the time. Obviously, we can't give too much away, but there's something big coming up on the 1st of March, isn't it? I think wasn't
First of
it? Yeah,
March,
the
yeah.
1st of March. Yeah, we will give more details sooner, closer to the day. Obviously, this next month coming up. Thursday, 21st of February, I have the trophies down in the Stalagan Tauber Hotel. Excuse me. Ian Hart and Stuart Dallas are going to be down there. MC on the night is Tony Cousins. Going to be a fantastic night. Really looking forward to meeting Ian and Stuart. Obviously, Stuart had to kind of retire early through injury and stuff like that, but he was some player for Leeds, and of course Ian with the connection, the Republic of Ireland. You know what he done for us. Some of the free kicks he took, been part of that squad that went to the quarterfinals of the Champions League under David O'Leary, getting so close, so. And obviously, I only thought about, remember he signed for Levante over in Spain and stuff like that, so just little things, really looking forward to that. And of course, that's the start of the build-up to the Leeds Legends game on Saturday, the 10th of May, out in the Carlisle grounds and Bray. It's going to be an unbelievable day. And Browner was telling me when I was talking to him the other day, it's going to be the first match to be played on the new Astro in Bray. So it's going to be really good, and looking forward to that. Some big names to be announced, and yeah, Airfield, another one coming up, as Phil, who's probably in the chat there, will be down at West Brown, like I said, was a there we go. How you feel? How you, Baz? Sorry, I never said hello to you, Baz, for your one comment tonight. Wes Brown is going to be down at Airfield. I was talking to Browner there the other day, and I was speaking to you after. There's some big names going to be announced for that one. And there's one or two that have never played up here before. So really looking forward to that.
And nothing like getting a set of Legends teams to break in your Astro pitch, huh?
Oh, big time. But that Airfield one, cause that's going to be amazing, because it's going to be the first time he's had a Premier League 11 over in Airfield, and it's going to be a mix of Liverpool, Man United. How are you, Joanne? How are you, Will? It's going to be a mix of Liverpool, United, Chelsea, West Ham, Newcastle, Everton, these type of players. Some of the players he's telling me, really looking forward to meeting some of them. And then on Saturday the 12th of July, we're in Dundalk for Man United Legends game up in Dundalk against Rock Celtic Legends, which again, chatting to Browner the other day, going to be amazing. I'm really with yourself, because obviously I'm a United fans. Of the United fans for me are unbelievable. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then there's one in Belfast as well.
So some would say more enjoyable than watching the current team.
Oh, big time, big time, big time, man. It's not been good, but yeah, no. And then another Premier League Legends 11 up at Belfast against the Belfast Select 11. I think that is in May. I think it's May the 24th, Saturday, May 24th, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, listen, I took a booking there for September for the 40th over in Shankill and stuff like that. So, yeah, I've been pretty busy, looking forward to it. Obviously, we keep all the guys in the chat updated on all the things. But like I said, yeah, Saturday the 1st of March, there's something big coming. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was talking to Tony on Saturday morning, and he has some unbelievable stuff lined up, and lots in the pipeline as well. So it's a very exciting time to be involved with Legends 11 and all this stuff that's going on. Phenomenal, the stuff they did. Self and Tony were talking about way back when it kind of started and how they were and what they did and all, and to where they are now and all. And it's unbelievable how it just keeps evolving year after year, and most of it's for such good causes and stuff like that. And dare I say, at a time we've just come through a storm and stuff like that, and like shout out to all the Longford fans and Longford Town and all the place
Yeah,
was absolutely
yeah.
decimated and stuff like that, and also
We
hopefully they'll
were
get things sorted and stuff
we
like
were
that.
only there in June, goes, and
Yeah.
there was 3,000 at the match. It was an unbelievable day, and
Mm.
the crowd were phenomenal. Just the
Yeah.
whole town. There was such a. We talked about it on the podcast, even with William Tyrrell there a few weeks ago. The togetherness in the town. It's just such a community, and
Yeah.
devastating for them. Coming close to the start of the season, and possibly not having to they'll probably have to start their first few fixtures away. I think Burnley done it a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
When they were getting the pitch done,
Mm.
it could look like that as well. So, but yeah, hopefully they get it sorted and they have the funds to do it and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And sure, look, if there are any of the boys around for watching it from Longford or anything like that, let us know if you're doing any GoFundMe's or charity
Yeah,
stuff or anything
yeah,
like that. We'd be very happy to help out in any way we can.
definitely.
So it's important for everyone, not just Longford, So really, really important. But yeah, it's a lot of storm damage down there. Right, we have a Premier League preview tonight. We're going to be talking about Ruben Amorim as well. Interesting comments coming out of him. We are certainly going to be talking about Ref Watch and the PGMOL and Michael Oliver in particular and stuff like that. We're going to be talking about Paul Merson on another mad one as well. We will be talking about the great Mo Salah. Did I mention he's overtaken Thierry Henry?
No, you never said it. No, you never said it.
I said it there.
In fairness, I know he got the goal, but for me, there was a standout player other than him for you on Saturday.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no fair play to him.
Yeah, unbelievable. But as I said to Arsenal fans, don't cry too much because we're not dwelling on that. Next stop is Frank Lampard. So it's all good. It's all good in the hood. You won't be crying on your own. The blue and the red side of London will both be in tears before this season is finished. And who knows, we may even push further. So we'll see what happens there. We'll also talk about the government giving the go-ahead for the rejuvenation, the Old Trafford project. A lot of people up in arms about this, talking about government funding for the stadium. It's actually not. It's for the rejuvenation of the area. And it's gonna bring in, I believe, about an extra $7 billion into the economy. They were saying, and create about 90,000 jobs, which is going to be fantastic for that area of Manchester. Let alone what United themselves bring to the area as well. So really, really important. But we will talk about all that stuff. But first, let's go Premier League review. Let's talk about this, and we kick it off first of all. Mark, Bournemouth 5, Nottingham Forest 0. Sells not having a good day at the office this week, but been phenomenal all season.
He has, yeah. You just thought it was you, but listen, Bournemouth from battling relegation last season to being in the position where they are now, looks like Areola should be up for a manager of the season. But they were just they played for it, and we know how difficult Forest have been to play against, but they played them off the park that first half. Some of the chances they created. I think it was the first goal. Did you see how high he leapt in the air to get that header? Oh my God. Kluivert was on fire. It fell for him for the offside goal. They good build up play, but I think it was Semenya was offside in the build up or something like that. I think it was, but they were unbelievable. Some of the goals, but like I looked at was it Kluivert scored the first goal? He was running. Yeah. In the first half, it was, yeah. So running at the Forest defence, and he was probably thinking to himself, this is too good to be true. They were just backing off. And then two of them at the edge of the box. Now, listen, he still had a lot to do. It was an unbelievable finish by Sells. But I just thought, just one of the centre-halves go and close him down, put a bit of pressure on him, make him play the ball, but they didn't. And yeah, it was, listen, bad day at the office for Forest. And listen, you're hoping it mightn't be the start of a little decline for them, because it's great to see them there. Like I said, them and Bournemouth were obviously battling relegation big time last season, and you look at them now and it's great to see. So yeah, but listen, great win for Bournemouth, and some of the football they've been playing this season, not just particularly on Saturday, has been unbelievable to watch.
I was listening to the commentary on the way home in the car on Saturday, and I heard Ouattara has scored, disallowed, and then 2 minutes later, no, actually, Ouattara has scored this time, and there's no problem with it. And stuff like that. So it was pretty
he was immense. He was immense on Saturday as well. And we talked about Brooks last week. How the coming back from everything he's came back from, and he was on loan last season. He's been excellent for them as well. So, but it's great to see the atmosphere and the vitality looked great on Saturday. It was bouncing, and 5-0. They probably they would all like they would have taken a point before that game, I would have said. Bournemouth, you know, but the way
No, they're
Forest have been
playing
playing.
well and going
Oh,
there is
yeah, but
tough,
I'm just
you
saying
know.
how Forest have been
Yeah,
playing as well. But they
yeah,
won and never in the wildest dreams thought a 5-0 win, you know.
yeah, absolutely. And up next for Bournemouth now is ourselves Liverpool next
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah,
So that'll be an interesting toy. Yeah, but a phenomenal
absolutely.
win for Bournemouth. What a job Ariola's doing and everything else. Unbelievable. Next up, Brighton 0, Everton 1. Enjoy on 42 with a penalty. This is a result I called on the Thursday Tier Talk. Just
Yeah,
before we move off the Nottingham Forest one, friend of the show and my co-host on the Thursday Tier Talk, was telling me today on fantasy football, he took out Robert Sanchez and he put in Matt Sells.
oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, so there you go.
Ah,
There you
he's
go.
a keeper himself.
There you go. Well, you couldn't have predicted it. In
I know,
fairness, you would definitely be taking out Robert Sanchez, and we'll talk about that when we get to Chelsea.
Yeah.
But Everton, Moyes bouncing back with Everton, looking good.
2 wins on the trot. You know, I don't think
Mm.
any Everton fan would have thought that, even particularly with Moyes coming in, even with the new manager bounce, him being back. Brighton again have been so difficult to play against. They've been really good. Obviously they struggle with a few injuries and stuff like that. But for Everton, it was great. They created some opportunities. I think Brighton nearly scored towards the end and stuff like that. Nearly got the equaliser, but to hold on, and I think wasn't it Mangala went off for injured, so Everton were down to 10 men for like 20 minutes of the game and stuff like that, because they'd already made their allowed sub, or was it the 3 subs they'd made at that stage? Yeah, so they were down to 10 men. So unbelievable results for them. You know, 3 points on the road and a clean sheet. David Moyes can only be delighted with that.
You probably count on one hand as well in a season the amount of teams that come away from there with 3 points away from the Amex. So that's a
hard.
huge result for Everton, especially in the predicament they're
Hard.
in. And especially looking above now. I mean, they've got Spurs in their sights. We'll talk about Spurs, of course. But
I know it wasn't, you know, the result he would have wanted on Saturday, but I just wanted to mention Danny Welbeck. Been watching a lot of him over the last few weeks. He's been absolute immense for Brighton. He looks a rejuvenated player. Obviously, when he went to Arsenal, like with us, he had a few injuries and stuff like that knocked him back, but he just looks a whole new player playing for Brighton.
Absolutely. Next up, Liverpool 4, Ipswich 1. So Bosley, Salah getting that all-important goal, but also Cody Gakpo with a brace. And he's broke that record, I think, that Robin van Persie and Ruud van Nistelrooy had of scoring in 5 consecutive home games in
He's
the
been
Premier
brilliant.
League. Absolutely amazing.
I know, listen, as a Liverpool fan, and you know, everyone's been talking about Mo Salah all season, and he's been brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Gafco, unbelievable. That hasn't been. Can I just say for the Salah goal? I know it probably looks simple, but that was a very difficult
No
finish.
way.
The way he
Real
took
toy.
it, do you know what I
Real
mean?
toy.
And the way he took the touch and
Up
the
into the
keeper came out,
roof.
exactly, and he came out to close the angle. I know he's so close to goal, but the angle that he's at, I thought it was a fantastic finish. And I was talking to Rowan. I don't know if he was in the chat. I was talking to him on Saturday morning, and I predicted you to win 4-0. So when you were 4-0 up with a few minutes ago, I thought to myself, but obviously, you know, you conceded from the corner and it was a good header and stuff. But yeah, great win for you, and everything went according to plan. I was hoping Mo might got another goal or assist, because I had him as my captain, obviously, and stuff. So you know, I Tiernan, and I sent him a link to the show. He could be in the chat. I said to him during the week, like, I fancy to get a few goals, because obviously Ipswich are playing City, confidence are low. I said if you get 1 or 2, like, it could be any kind of score, and I was hoping, but you only got the 1. But great performance, great ball in by Trent as well for was the second goal, I think it was.
Yeah, it looked like, to be honest with you, it was, if you look back at the game, 4-1 kind of flattered Ipswich, to be honest.
Yeah.
Trent Alexander-Arnold was absolutely incredible on the day, and
yep.
You know, good to see it as well. And it's, you know, if he does leave, how we will miss him, there's no doubt about it. Big Ange getting the vote of confidence off Daniel Levy. Well, of course he is. He has a semi-final of a cup coming up.
Talking to Trent, cuz, did you see Stick to Football with Dennis Irwin? He was praising him on that.
Oh, was he? Yeah, I didn't see it now. But yeah,
the lads in
absolutely.
the chat, Miel drinking Buddy Dennis. It was a great episode in fairness.
And I tell you, if you're getting praise from Dennis Irwin, you're doing all right. That's for sure. Next up, Southampton 1, Newcastle 3. Southampton had chances in this game, but it seems they kind of come into the game. I mean, obviously with Isaac with the brace, kind of killed it a bit, and Tonali, I couldn't believe a stat that was out there. That's Tonali's first goal since the first game of last season.
Yeah, you could see how much it meant to him when he scored it. For Isak's first goal as well, that first touch that
Big up
brought it.
Tiernan.
How you turn and there he is there, Angry James as I call him.
There you go.
Isak's first touch that brought it more towards the keeper, more towards goal, and the finish was immense. He's just been in top form. For me, he's probably one of the top strikers, not just in the Premier League, but in Europe at the moment on form, He'd be a wanted man. He has been the last few transfer windows, but definitely in the summer you could see some of the so-called bigger teams coming in for him. But yeah, it looked shaky enough for Newcastle for a while there. Southampton they lose their shape too easily. I've been watching them as well, particularly from defending set pieces. They seem to lose their shape a lot. Even if they clear their lines, they're coming out and they're not keeping their shape. They're all over the place and stuff, and they're conceding a lot. The defenders, you can see how easily Isak ran through the middle of the two defenders. That's been happening an awful lot lately. So it's something they have to look at. Obviously, I know they changed managers recently and stuff, and he needs a bit of time to gel, get the players to gel to the system that you want and all. But yeah, very, very worrying times for them,
Listen, I'd have no problem with Alexander Isak coming in if Mo Salah was leaving, but the truth is, one, they don't kind of play really the same position, and two, Liverpool don't spend that type of bread because Newcastle are going to want the keys to the mansion really for them.
So definitely.
You can forget about that. So,
shoot me.
A game that we are going to be talking about later as well as now.
Yes.
2 red cards in this, so we'll come up in ref watch. But Wolves 0, Arsenal 1. The goal coming from Calafiori after Wolves had gone down to 10 men.
Yeah, it wasn't the great. If Joanne's still in the chat there, I think she said she didn't watch it, but wasn't the greatest of games, to be honest. Particularly you look at Arsenal now, Champions League, League Cup semi-final coming up and stuff like that. They want to keep that momentum going, and I suppose from that point of view,
and have done no business.
No, nothing at
27.
all.
We're into the 28th of January now. Tomorrow, no business.
None at all. And you're looking at it going, like, they need a striker. There's no doubt about it. He's been kind of gone between Martinelli and Trossard, starting them, and then he bring one on in the 68 or the 70th minute. He's been chopping and changing and stuff. And there's a few players that look tired. Obviously, with Saka's injury and stuff, they're missing that bit of flair on the right hand side and all. And I just felt it was. Listen, for them though, if you're looking at it from an Arsenal point of view, yes, the performance wasn't great. We'll talk about the sending off then as well, but it's a clean sheet on the road, and it's 3 points at a vital stage of the season where usually they would drop off slightly,
And they would have had one eye on Liverpool 4-1 and stuff like that. So the pressure was on. They would have known, and they were down to 10 men as well.
So no, it was great 3 points for them, but not from a neutral point of view, it wasn't a great match to watch at all. So, but listen, like I said, they've the semi-final coming up and stuff. Then the next against Newcastle, the Champions League games coming up as well. It will have the FA Cup. They're not in it, but we'll have the FA Cup games coming up as well in a few weeks. But I don't know. Listen, from a point of view, like I said, of Arsenal, it's a job done. Particularly, there's a bit of a mill up here in the Leeds and Burnley game. Daniel James after going in late on someone. But yeah, listen, like I said, you'd be happy as an Arsenal fan to come away with 3 points for that,
Yeah, I think Wolves would have liked to get the draw, but I don't know what your man Gomez was doing, but we'll talk about it anyway.
I'll get into that later.
Man City 3, Chelsea 1. Chelsea taking the lead, a little bit of luck on it and stuff like that. Madueke after 3 minutes. Vardy, who I think is as good going forward as he is a defender. He's unbelievable, gets on the end of everything. Haaland getting the goal and Foden wrapping it up 3-1. This was kind of a decisive game, really, wasn't it, when you looked at it? It kind of exposed Enzo Maresca a little bit, didn't it? Because he's kind of so stringent in his way, in his beliefs. His protection of Robert Sanchez is crazy. The boy Jorgensen is there, who I know has had a couple of issues, but is a far better keeper than Robert Sanchez. You kind of have to ask yourself, when you look at that Chelsea squad, and me and you have spoken about their bench how many times on this show. Yeah. They probably have one of the best benches in the league when you look at it on paper.
Using it, he hasn't been using it. He's sticking with the same starting 11. You say about Sanchez, because to see Haaland's goal, his positioning for a Premier League keeper was absolutely abysmal. Like you're given probably one of the best finishers in the Premier League an open goal, and it's at that stage, City. Obviously, with Chelsea taking an early lead, it kind of knocks their confidence a bit. But then they get back into it, and for that Haaland goal, it's 1-1 at the time. You're thinking Chelsea are still in it, but when he makes such a stupid decision, he's possibly one of the Listen, I can't really talk as a banana, but he has to be one of the worst, if not the worst, goalkeeper in the Premier League at the minute.
It's
If not for a long time.
five errors so far leading to goals.
That's just it's
at
not good enough.
At that level. If you've sights on top four and being in a title race and all these kind of things, that ain't the guy you can have between the sticks.
No,
and
definitely not.
And what's worse is it's. I heard people coming out. It's not really Sanchez's fault. It's Maresca who keeps on picking him. So he has to take some of the portions. The same with Nicholas Jackson as well. You've Nicholas Jackson there as well. My God, I watched him there at the weekend, and he's just. At times it's pitiful, his decision making. That time when he broke through, it could have been 2-0.
Yes.
I remember he took the touch. He took the touch and then turned around and said, just bang it first time, pal.
Sure.
Bang it first time into the far corner. Done.
Palmer's the same, because that chance he had, he could have shot himself and he squared it. And I don't know who got the block in for City. It was a great block after that. But Palmer's been a little bit off the boil the last while as well,
I call it all the time. Anytime they're up against top 6 or top 8, he ghosts the game. I say it all the time, and people look at me when I say it. It's a fact. Go look at it.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the game at all and stuff like that. And the weird thing as well, I heard Rory Jennings did a show today, and he was talking about how Cole Palmer, if Chelsea don't get top 4, he doesn't really want to play in the conference. He doesn't really want to play in the Europa League. He's a Champions League player. And I don't know if you noticed at the end of the game, he had quite a prolonged chat with Pep on the pitch.
Seeing that. But he just hasn't looked himself to kill Cole Palmer. We know from the start of the season, he's probably getting frustrated with the kind of lack of creativity and playing the same starting 11 and not mixing it up a little bit as well. Like that keeper situation, Chelsea fans are used to the likes of Peter Cech, Thibaut Courtois, these big imposing goalkeepers that you can always rely on. Yes, they're going to make a mistake, but not 5 errors in one season mistakes, that sort of way. So
it's do you know what it is? It's the flying out, and you can see it in them. And the two of us who have kind of goalkeeping background make a decision. You either go or you don't go.
Yeah, exactly.
But you never half go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because if you're doing that as well, the back 4 or the back 5, whatever they're playing, they're not going to have confidence in you at all. They're going to be like nervous themselves.
It was kind of like he was in the middle. He was in the middle of the 18-yard box, nearly doing a dance, and he didn't know what to do. And then he realised, oh shit, I'm in serious trouble here now. And he just absolutely crapped himself. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it's the manager as well. Like there's a lot you have to talk about Enzo Maresca as well, because listen. For the first 10, 12 games of this season, we heap praise on him. He was second at one stage. Yeah. One stage, he was 3 or 4 points, I think, off Liverpool at the top. And then it's just fallen apart. And it's a stem from, remember he did that press conference after the game and he said that they weren't in a title race, that they weren't ready for it. And all this kind of, and since then, the drop-off has been mad. But I look, they've a lot of players there with a lot of flair. So you have the Nkunkus of this world, the Joe Felixes of this world, Pedro Neto, who looks a shadow of the Pedro Neto who was at Wolves. But is he playing with these players just a bit too rigid in a system? You look at Cole Palmer as well, who has all the talent and all the flair in the world. But it's like these guys are boxed into situations, and that freedom that they need to go and play, they're not being given it. They're being told, listen, this is what I want you to do, stick to this. And with Maresca, if you don't, you're whipped. So it's kind of like, it's weird, but there's so much talent on the bench and stuff.
How's Eno feeling about it? Because
he's kind of the same. He's very, very frustrated with Maresca. Spoke to him the other day about it, and he says he's just his choices, his in-game management, his fact that he doesn't give other players a chance, all these things. And I said to Ian the other day, do you know what's a big bug for me? When I see players coming on wearing gloves. That really annoys the hell out of me. And especially, whatever about if they're wearing them with a long sleeve. But if you're wearing gloves and you're wearing a short sleeve like in Kunku, I have no time for that at all.
Martial used to do it. And it's mad.
Horrendous.
The one player that does wear gloves looks like he shouldn't be. Sanchez, But no, Martial used to do that. I used to fucking annoy the shit out of me,
Yeah. I don't know
Oh
what those
yeah, no, I was seeing that.
tickets.
That was an
Yeah.
absolute shambles. It just shows you where we are, racers, as a club from top to bottom. Like, for that to happen, was it the Galatasaray or something game there last season as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
where all the Turkish fans were let in. It's just shambles. I heard and seen a video of a 14-year-old young lad getting punched in the face by a Rangers
Heard
lad
that, yeah.
in the North Stand as well. So absolute shambles from the club, and not only that. A 73-year-old man went to report an incident with Rangers fans because they threw something at him. He
Literally got ignored.
he got ignored, and
Mm.
then something else happened. He called the steward over, who then called the police to call the thing, and they got removed. But it was near the end of the game, and it was like, what's the point? All right,
Yeah,
Ro.
yeah, it was kind of like, I believe the guy who punched the 14-year-old, he got arrested and taken out apparently after a while.
Rightly so, yeah.
Got
Rightly
sorted, so
so.
yeah, but just it's crazy.
Shambles of a club. And there's home fans that can't get tickets to these games. You know, you want to bring your son or your daughter or whoever over, and there's no tickets available, and yet the Rangers fans got tickets. Just does not make sense. Like,
I just think, you know, for me, it's just it's not a game I'd have any interest in attending.
yeah. No,
You know
not
what I
after
mean?
the last time. Like,
Yeah,
even on the Thursday afternoon, I was in work. I was getting sent videos of some of the trouble happening around the city centre and all. And I was thinking to myself, I wouldn't even want to be there with the kids or anything like that. You know, just too much. Like, there's a lot of scumbags out there, and I'm not just listen. It happens at every club. I'm not just pinpoint Rangers.
yeah, absolutely. Just let people know before we get into Sunday. Tomorrow night, Pro Wrestling Weekly will be on, and we're going to have our Royal Rumble special edition. So for anyone who jumps into the chat, you're going to be allocated a number for the Royal Rumble, and that number will be valid for the men's and the women's, and also OTT's local Rumble as well. So if your number wins on any of those three, we've got shirts, we've got baseball caps, I think we've got some mugs, we've got plenty of gifts to give away, and we're going to be giving them away. It'll probably be on next week's show after the Rumble, but we'll do the draw tomorrow night. So even if you're around, we need 30 people in the chat. As soon as you drop into the chat, we're going to draw a number out for you. You're going to be given that number, and if your number comes out, you're onto a winner.
I'll get in the chat, but obviously if my number wins, we'll allocate it to the number underneath me then.
No, if your number comes in, we're giving you a Shankly Sessions hat and t-shirt.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll give it to Rowan. Actually, well, Rowan and Tiernan are in the chat. You can ask them. They might want to get me a crown. You can just ask them who's the champion at pool last week.
Did you get the Burger King? Did you get the crown?
Yeah. Actually, I must do that. Yeah, the two boys. We were in the Giddy Dolphin. I can't remember what night it was. And I was the champion at pool.
Now tell me, does there be big money on this?
Not really, but there might be. There's a tournament coming up. There was meant to be a tournament tonight, and it was cancelled. There's one coming up on I think it's the 10th of February. There's a tournament, and it's €200 for the winner. So I shall be entering.
What you do, and that's pool, is it?
That's pool, cause yeah.
Well, you're just down there. What's it, like a fiver a man and kind of best of three knockout kind of thing? Or?
What were they doing? It was €20 in. You get 2 free drinks, which you're probably paying for.
Is he telling spoofs here, Rowan? Is he telling spoofs?
Listen, Rowan, you tell. To be honest now. I know I might embarrass you, but be honest to Niall and the lads in the chat. But yeah, 20 quid in, you get 2 free drinks. So that's €200 for the winner. So
that's not too bad.
Yeah,
doesn't feel right, Rowan, huh? Doesn't feel right, Rowan, when you have to tell people how good you are yourself, doesn't it? Doesn't feel good.
I was just doing it to wind him up because it was just to get him into the chat. But
nice.
Yeah, it's a knockout one as well, so it's good. It depends how many there is, but it's just usually a knockout, you know.
Awesome. Right, let's get into Sunday. Palace 1, Brentford 2. Brentford bounced back. Coelho and Sade, and then SA, of course, with the consolation.
Can I just give a shout out to Wissa? Obviously, they missed the first penalty, and it goes to the VAR, and they give it, say there was encroachment. Yeah. And did you see Wissa for the second penalty? And Buemo was just running up to take it, and even before he took it, he ran by the camera like that, celebrating Wissa before he even took it. I was like, fair play to him. But yeah, great win for Brentford. Palace obviously got back into it in the second half and stuff. Young lad came on, looked very good. Bit confusing for the commentator to have SE and Eze and stuff like that. But again, Brentford are pushing on. There was a time near the start of the season I didn't think they'd amount to much. You know, they looked frustrated and stuff, and there wasn't that bit of flair, but by God, have they changed over the last while? Who's in it, cuz?
The talk is, Philip, that it's going to be John Cena. He's the favourite in the bookies, and the bookies generally don't get it wrong
When is it on? This Sunday, cuz?
This Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Because I heard someone that I know was in Budapest, I think it was, and he was seeing over there.
Okay.
I think he's making a film over there or something.
Yeah. Well, I know Cena's in it anyway, so he's declared himself in it.
Nice one. Is there? Did he still do any surprises, like bring back?
Oh yeah, they do loads of stock. Like they bring in guys now from TNA, and they probably won't bring as many from TNA because actually, on the same day, Joe OTT is doing the Loco Rumble, and they have Moose and Eric Young and a few over from TNA to do their Royal Rumble. So obviously they won't be doing the WWE because they've signed this partnership deal, TNA and WWE, under the TKO banner. So.
Do you remember was a 2000 Royal Rumble? It was on Channel 4, Madison Square Garden, the small little walkway. Roddy Piper came back. That's
right. I was doing up the history page for tomorrow night's show and stuff like that. Loads of Royal Rumble in there. So yeah, the one with Piper and Flair.
Yes. When did Mr. Perfect come back? Remember one of the Rumbles he came back?
Oh God, I can't remember.
I've
been looking at so many of them these days. I've been doing my homework on it, so I can't remember.
I always remember, like as the lads in the chat now, I don't watch it now, but I think it was 98. The target on Stone Cold's head, was that 98 or 99?
Yeah.
I think it was 98.
If you have Netflix, everything's going up on Netflix at the moment.
I just remember I think he went out the back and they were all in the jacks waiting for them corporation and all were in the jacks, and then he ends up coming back and winning and stuff. It was unreal.
Yeah, tomorrow is the show, lads. I'll set it up in the morning also. And I'll have the bag here. We spare no expense. The IKEA sandwich bag will be here with all the numbers rolled up in it. There'll be no shenanigans or anything like that. So don't blame me if two of you get 30. No. It's tomorrow night, so we'll have a bit of crack on it and stuff like that.
What time is that? At 9, cause is
it? No, it'll probably be 8 o'clock, I'd say.
8
o'clock, because there's a bit to get through as well. It's because we have to go through. We had Saturday night's main event. Was on Saturday night as well. It's really cool. If you get a chance to listen to it, it's on YouTube. Yeah,
you were telling me about that last week. Actually, did Shawn Michaels come back or something, did he?
Shawn was there for the contract signing, and he lit up Kevin Owens with a fantastic super kick. But not to give anything away, but listen to the start of it, right? There's a guy they have there at the moment who works the desk with Jesse Ventura. His name is Joe Testori, right? And you don't see him at the start, so you hear them talking, and then eventually it gets to him at the desk. Man, he sounds exactly like me and Gene Oakland. It's scary. Listen to it and let me know what you think. It's mad.
I love me and Gene. What a legend! What a legend.
Daz, I'm gonna put a message out to Jamie tonight. I know he's flat out, so I'm gonna put a message out to Jamie, and I'll see if the two Seans are available as well. So yeah, I'll get that done tonight. I don't know if he's available or not.
We get William Tyrrell on. Do you remember he said he'd go on to one of the shows? He's a big wrestling fan.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember he said at the end of the show he'd love to come on to one of your shows?
He's welcome on.
I'll give him a text.
Next up, Spurs 1, Leicester 2. The Jamie Vardy party pointing out the fact that they have a Premier League versus none. The shithousery was on fire.
Isn't it mad to think? Because 9 years ago, this was a title contender match, and now they're both down near the bottom of the table, like, you know.
Now it's a relegation contender match.
Yeah, exactly. But now what got me was did you see the video of Ange walking down the tunnel, and one of the fans said, "You're sending us down, and he comes back and looks up and stuff like that. But first half, I thought Spurs done very well. Song had a few chances and stuff like that. They got their goal, but Leicester got back into it then, and obviously Vardy. We talk about referees. I thought the referee gave a great advantage in the lead up to Jamie Vardy's goal on the left-hand side near the touchline as well. Yeah. So I want to big up because obviously we're going to get into other things as well, but I thought it was a great advantage.
And as you said, normally if you're out that wide, you wouldn't see it as an advantage and you'd blow it up for it. So,
because he was quite far out and he was quite close to the touchline and he played it on, so I thought it was a great advantage and ball played in and a bit of a. I thought the keeper possibly. I don't know if the defender sliding across put the keeper off coming out for the ball, but I thought the keeper possibly should have got the ball. But obviously, Vardy was there to tap it in and obviously point at the Premier League logo and do this and stuff like that. But he's always going to be a wine merchant, isn't he? You know.
We're coming to it as we have ref watch. We are coming to it. Don't worry. We'll be getting into that.
Yeah, no. So, listen, great win for Leicester, much needed. Van Nistelrooy, there's rumours and talks that he wanted to resign because, you know, there was promises made that haven't been fulfilled and stuff like that. So it's been a tough time for them. You know, they've been struggling with that's a nasty challenge. Don't you just love the tackles in the Championship? Because
yeah, and especially when you're talking Leeds don't hold back, that's for sure.
Leeds and Burnley. But yeah, listen, great win, massive. Like this is I spoke about Spurs on this show before. Like they can go and beat us one week and then they'll get beaten by someone like Southampton. They go and beat City and then get beaten by they're just so inconsistent,
and
you know.
There's no consistency to their form either. They're not as good at home as they are as away. It doesn't really matter.
No,
doesn't
exactly. Yeah, and listen, I know they're struggling with injuries. That's why Richarlison was starting the other day. Who scored a good goal? That header wasn't easy. He had to kind of go back, twist his head, and guide it into the bottom left hand corner. But yeah, it's from a Spurs point of view. Ange came out at the start of the season and said it's always the second season he wins a trophy, and it doesn't look like that, and it doesn't look like he's going to end the second season either. You know.
Well, we'll see because there's a semi-final coming up in 2 weeks, isn't there? And we're 1-0 down. So, but like if they play that, we'll.
But sure, remember he sacked Mourinho before the final before.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say Ange has a $5 million bonus written into his contract for winning a Carabao Cup somehow.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Team will come in. What's his name? As the
Ryan Mason.
Yeah, be the third or fourth time that he's been in there.
The younger version of Sam Allardyce.
Did you see the Paddy Power video?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, very good. Brilliant. Very good.
But I heard Spurs fans calling for Sam Allardyce to be brought in.
Are you serious?
How bad is that?
Steady the ship, you know.
They must be very concerned about this relegation battle.
Absolutely.
Imagine if Spurs got relegated.
It's
never say never. Leeds and all got relegated. Never say never.
Newcastle, Villa, West Ham. You know, you look at these teams, but
and you know they're one of the biggest spenders. You know they're one of the biggest spenders when you look at that table. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, but what I do think is you look at the table and you think they're playing bad, but you look at it and you look below what is underneath them, and you think the likes of Southampton, Ipswich are far worse than Spurs at this moment in time. You know, you look at. I'm just looking at it here.
Don't make that. Remember that statement. They've too much quality to go down. No. Never say that. Ever.
No, 100%. But you look at Southampton on 6 points, and Everton, in fact, are only a point behind Spurs, and they have a game in hand. And think about all the abuse, you know, Sean Dyche has been getting and stuff like that. Then they brought Moisey in, and you know they're doing all right at the minute. The momentum is with them, and
no, don't worry about the game, and don't worry about the game in hand though.
Well, that's Tuesday or tomorrow, isn't it? Tomorrow.
Yeah. No, we've got it's Champions League on Wednesday.
Oh, sorry, Tuesday week. Tuesday week.
We have a mega night of Champions League action on Wednesday. All the teams are playing, all on Wednesday.
Seeing
massive.
Come here, did I read right that if you could get like Juventus, Real Madrid, Celtic, and someone else or something?
Barcelona, I think it is, or something like that. Yeah.
Is it? Imagine finishing top of the group and that's your, you know, you think finishing top of the group, it's like you're getting easier.
Again, it depends on how the qualifiers go and the round of into the round. It'll be the round of 16, but you would expect by the time you get to the round of 16 that like you'd be playing a bit of quality anyway, you know.
Exactly.
It. So you know it's and to be honest with you, I'd rather draw the decent teams because it's the other ones you take for granted, and that's when you slip up.
They drag you down to their level and also.
Yeah, like if you're going out against a Juventus, you know they're a decent side, and you have to go out and perform and stuff like that. I think the other side of it as well is because of where we finish. I think all our second ties are at home.
Oh, okay.
So that's a huge advantage as well to having the second ties in the field also, as far as I know. So that's massive. So, Aston Villa 1, West Ham 1, Ramsey on 8, Emerson on 70.
Yeah, good start by Villa. I was watching it. They
lovely goal.
Really great goal. They really went at West Ham, but yeah, they just couldn't put some of the chances away, and he done what he usually does and takes Watkins off and brings Varane on, hoping with an hour gone, hoping that it might change, and it didn't. And yeah, West Ham got back into the game, got the equaliser, and it's a well-deserved point on the road, and it's a massive point for Potter, because it's
Potter,
been
what about Potter celebrating the goal at the
I
death?
know, yeah,
And it was a lovely goal as
it
well.
was great,
Jesus.
great goal, great finish,
Mm.
but it's like I said, it's much needed at the minute. You look at some of the fixtures they've had. Um, Obviously they were beaten by Palace at home the week before, down to 10 men and stuff like that. They got over the line against Fulham before that. So you're thinking just another point on the road. And I was looking there, just at the fixtures earlier. They've some tough ones coming up. Like they've Chelsea away, they've Brentford at home, they've Arsenal away, and then you look in February. In 22nd of February, they've Leicester at home. So their next 3 games are going to be massive for the club. You look at
Brentford probably being the toughest one.
yeah. Exactly, yeah. Too right. Arsenal could be gone by the 22nd of Feb. But yeah, 3 massive games. So that point again was a big point. But another point drop, a few points drop for Villa, and coming into the Champions League week as well, which
Were they
they
down
wouldn't
to
have
8?
wanted.
Down to 8 now or something, I think, in the
I'll
table.
tell you now.
I'll tell
I
you
was
now.
just looking at the table earlier on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
8.
down to 8. Yeah, Bournemouth have gone above them and stuff like that.
And the only team in the top half with a minus goal difference, which is very
Yeah,
unusual for Villa.
exactly.
Very unusual.
You look at, maybe it is the Champions League football course, they're chopping them back and forth between Duran and Watkins and stuff like that, and yeah, the goals have dried up slightly. But who are they playing? Who are they playing this week? Celtic, is it?
Celtic.
Celtic, yeah.
Yeah, Celtic in
Yeah.
the Champions League. Yeah.
So yeah, Celtic.
Should be interesting.
Big Villa coming up as well. So yeah, no, they should hopefully bounce back anyway.
We rounded out to a game that I was looking forward to, the 7 o'clock game, Sunday evening. We don't often get it. What an absolute horrific game. It was absolutely terrible. Fulham 0, Man United 1. Martinez with the deflected goal. Took it well anyway. Yeah, but did get a bit of a deflection and stuff like that and all. But it kind of felt like it was that game that if someone was going to score, it was going to have to win off someone's backside or head or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But a terrible game, wasn't it?
Do you know what?
Quality was hopeless.
Last night, got the kids, gave them their bat, got George's uniform ready for school. That
was at about 3:30, was it?
Yeah. And I was really looking forward to it, so I sat down to watch it. Then all the girls went upstairs. I sat down here on my own, sat down, watched it. I thought to myself, yeah, now looking forward to this. Fulham have been playing really well. It's a tough place to go to at times, given the way Silva hasn't playing. We haven't been playing great, but it was like, yeah, it should be a decent game. No, brutal. It was, even for a United fan, Fulham fan, and a neutral, it was a horrible 90 minutes to watch.
With 20 minutes ago, I put on the NFL. I was watching the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, you're probably better off. Like the first corner of the game was in the 60-odd minute or something like that. Or it was just I think did we only have 1 shot on target?
You did, and it was the Martinez one.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So, and in fairness, he got a fingertip to it, the reason, and they hit the underside of the bar. But excuse me, I thought from trying to look at some positive, we kept our shape well at the back at times, and we played some intricate passing in little triangles when needed be, in little spells. I'm trying to, like Garnacho had a few opportunities that we've played through. Diallo as well. Toby did well when he came on, especially the clearance off the line. Muniz for Fulham had those 2 chances when he came on. He kind of just snapped at them and hit one into the ground. Then over the bar, we were very, very lucky to get away with that. But
and he had been good earlier in the season.
He literally, he was everything that hit off and went in. But yeah, I heard rumors. Obviously, Onana hadn't travelled with the squad. He wasn't seen around the hotel and with the travelling squad, but he was named in goal, and I was a bit worried then. Particularly, I think Fulham took a shot from about 20 yards out, and he kind of little fumble. And if there had been a Fulham player in the 6-yard box, they probably would have got a touch on it. But yeah, listen, a clean sheet away from home from Fulham, particularly the way we've been playing, it's a massive 3 points. for us. I thought the way fans just sang Ruben's name nearly for the 90 minutes as well. And yeah, listen, it wasn't a great watch, but I'll take the 3 points. And there was moments I was pleased with, but they were very few and far between.
Yeah, I think as United's season goes along, it's presenting Amarin with more questions than answers.
Yeah,
I think, and it's building up that way. Like, I think there's obviously. I look at Hoyland and I'm looking at him trying to figure out, is he progressing? How does he fit into an Amarin team? I look at Xerxes and where he's come up with a couple of moments at times and stuff like that. He kind of flops around the pitch. What does he really do? Like, what is he? Is he a 9? Is he a deep line? Is he a false 9? What is he like?
But
no one knows what he is.
Two complete different players, and both of them I don't think suit the style of play that we're playing. Hoyland, for the life of me, I read one of the lads at the comment in saying call him trampoline foot because everything was just bouncing off him. Like, he can't hold it up, and he is that type of player where he's a big, intimidating lad. You want him to hold it up, but he looks so frustrated. He's not holding anything up. Xerxes comes on, he's a different player, but he's not. Listen, he's had a bad few weeks, obviously with what's going on with the home fans and stuff like that. Absolutely not.
We're about to talk about it here. We're about to talk about it. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
But yeah, just we're missing that little something up front. I was saying it to my dad, there's a few lads in the 23s that I throw in there, that sort of way to give an opportunity, so
but it's not even that. When you hear like he's struggling because he's not getting the service and stuff like that. Years ago you were told if that doesn't happen, when we were being coached as kids and as players stuff that you were told, if you're not in the game, get yourself in the game, drop deep, pick up a ball, like what Harry Kane was doing. Get yourself involved in the game and let runners go beyond you. Be that provider if you're not going to be the goal scorer.
Absolutely.
But he just seems so disjointed out of the game. And he's been kind of piggybacking this whole thing that the service is crap anyway kind of thing. Well, that doesn't give you a license to be totally out of the game.
Yeah,
get yourself involved.
I did hear a rumour. I won't say where I heard it from, but I heard a rumour obviously Hoyland and Amarin had words in training a few weeks ago. And then he was dropped. Xerxes came, and he was kind of shoehorned back into the team because of the reaction Xerxes got from his performance when he's taken off that time. So if it hadn't been for that, he would have been dropped even more. So I don't know how true or not that is, but we certainly need. Sorry, just will. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And see, the problem with holding up the ball is Hoyland's game is put the ball in behind, and his speed is supposed to be what gets him there and scores goals, and that's what he had been doing, stuff like that. But Amarin doesn't play that way. He's not going to be looking for balls over the top and stuff like that. So it's a kind of a weird blend. And as Will said, doesn't kind of hold up the ball, doesn't bring people really into play. And even when he does, you'd expect him to swivel on the tuppence and go. And when he gives the ball off, receive the ball back on the go kind of thing. He doesn't do any of that. He's not aware of it. Like,
you look at Haaland, you see Haaland's assist for Foden's goal, where he takes it down, just a little intricate touch.
Yeah. And that little around the corner job, Yeah, you learn it in the street.
Exactly. And he just doesn't have that in him. And it's getting frustrating because we need someone up there. We haven't. What was that? What was it I heard? The last. Was it? We haven't scored from open play in the last. Or sorry, we 5 goals or something, was it? Martinez has scored 2. How many Xerxes scored as well?
I think he has 2 or 3, doesn't he? Yeah.
I think the Xerxes scored, but I was just reading about the strikers. Like they score a feck all. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a big up, Rowley. Good seeing man. We were just talking about tomorrow night, the Royal Rumble show, 8 o'clock. We're going to be doing the draw and everything else during the show. So make sure you tune in. Yeah, we said we do it tomorrow night because we don't want to, because we Champions League all Wednesday.
One of my friends, Keith, was in Madrid last week. So he took in the Atletico game on the Tuesday night and he took in the Real Madrid game on the Wednesday night. And on the Thursday, he went and done the tour of the Bernabeu, sending me videos. Oh my God, that trophy room. I text him back. That looks like me gaff. You want to see it? Because, oh man.
The champions. I said it even remember when they were presenting Mbappe?
Yeah.
And you're there and the camera's going along. You know the way the camera pans back and goes along. Yeah. And it's just European trophy after European trophy. And you see is a Perez and he's in the trophy room and they're all lit up and all. and
Oh
it's
yeah,
15 of them, am I right? 15?
yeah, 15, and they have
15,
all. They
15
have.
trophies, like, just.
I'm after sending you the video there that Keith
Mm,
took. It just I
yeah,
was
I'll
and
check it out.
they have them on the little plinths and they've Cardiff and Paris and all the names and the years they
Yeah,
won it.
yeah, no,
But
it's phenomenal.
Rome, that's some stadium, man.
And you
Some
know,
sort of,
we gave them a good go a few times. There's a few of them there where they were against us, so we gave them a good go, you know.
do you remember Bale's overhead kick? Was that the Carriers game? Was it?
Carries. Yeah, forget about the Bale overhead kick. What about the other clangers?
Oh no,
The
yeah.
Bale one was special.
Yeah, no, it was,
Yeah,
and he was only on the pitch as well a few minutes, wasn't he?
yeah. I'll be
I
there,
think
guys. I'm off to Madrid for the next game. I'm buzzing. Got the tour booked. Ah, class,
Keith
class.
was sending me loads. Like it
Mm.
looks savage, Romy.
Yeah, when you're there, shoot some pictures for us if you want, and if you want to send them in to us. And what we'll do is we'll do up a slide for the next show.
Barely.
Of the pictures of the tour and stuff like that. Champions League and Europa League draw on Friday morning. Look forward to that as well. And then we're the Ric Flair of the Champions League. Woo!
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My mate's got a ticket for Wednesday night. Lovely. PSV, isn't it? PSV for us. So should be interesting. Let's talk about this Amarin.
Yes.
It was his birthday at the weekend. 40.
Yeah.
Doesn't look a day over 48.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm 50 after 2 months at Manchester United. It's 50. He's you barely think he's trying to talk his way out of a job at times, wouldn't you? The way he puts out some of this stuff.
I like his honesty though.
He's a bit loose, isn't he?
I like his honesty though, because it's refreshing, you know. So many managers are tongue-tied of what they can say and what they cannot say, and they're afraid to talk against the club and stuff. But I do like his honesty. To be fair, like he's come in and he's gotten rid of players that he doesn't want and stuff, and he's after saying it's my way, the highway, and he has the backing from the board to keep the the way he's playing and stuff, you know. So. Do
you think you would have had the backing of the board about the Rashford comment?
Yeah,
it was kind of a bit out there, wasn't it? At a time where you're trying to sell a guy, and you're putting him in the shop window.
But at the same time, because you know, you don't have to be involved with football in our football club to realise that he hasn't been great. He hasn't been a great trainer. Listen, the clubs that would be interested in him, football is a small world. They would have had people that have played with him and know him, and you know, whether it be international or nationals, or in the league, sorry, and stuff. And people have connections to football clubs that would have approached him saying, "What's he like behind the scenes and stuff?" So they'll know. They'll know. I don't think what he's saying is a big shock or a surprise to anyone. We all know.
The only thing for me really is because the beneficiary of him going is this guy here, because he's going to be given funds to spend. So if anything, like you look at Garnacho, who's been linked with Napoli and being linked with Chelsea and stuff like that, and he's playing him. You know what I mean? You look at Rashford there, and like those comments last night. Now we kind of know Rashford and this kind of carry on and stuff like that now, but when the manager's coming out going, he's kind of saying this guy's a real problem child. I'm sure clubs are looking at going, well, am I going to drop 300 bags on this guy a week? And this guy's a nuisance, doesn't even want to train.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Listen, we've had it before with Sancho. Him and Ten Hag didn't get on, and he goes back to Dortmund, and now he's with Chelsea. So listen, I know what you're saying, but no, I don't think I had it. I think he was just being honest. Like I said, I like the way he's came out and said it. Managers before haven't been able to deal with that, and they haven't had the backing of the board or anything like that. So I think it's refreshing. And like I said, I think everyone in football knows what Mark's situation is. And listen, if you're a club and you read that, you think, right, but still, I want to take a punt on him, because how many players have we seen not just leave Manchester United, but say leave a Liverpool or a Chelsea or whoever, and have progressed going abroad and done well, and you know, better themselves as a player?
Never from Liverpool. They always get worse. It's Trent listening. Trent, if you're listening, Mo, if you're listening, Virgil, if you're listening, you leave Liverpool, you never get better. You regress. Look at Hendo, look at Fabinho, look at Gini Wijnaldum. I could name
Torres.
Do not leave. Do not leave.
But now, like I said, I think it could do in the world of good going abroad.
Torres didn't improve when he left Liverpool. He
messing with you. He was brutal.
He was destroyed. He was brilliant at Liverpool.
I suppose
the only one is Luis Suarez.
Suarez,
But he was brilliant at Liverpool as well, and at Barca. So like, but
Which I was actually myself and my mate Duffer at the United Chelsea game where Torres rounded De Gea and missed the empty goal. That got a bigger cheer than the actual goals.
Yeah, it was Suarez's birthday the other day, and I went back looking at clips. I know all the other stuff that happened and everything, and the human element of all that kind of stuff and all. But what a footballer! What a footballer! He scored
the hat-trick against Norwich and that goal against Newcastle, the long ball over the top, and he just takes a touch and around the keeper. One of the memories I have of him, actually, not in the Premier League though. Remember, he went to Atletico and he was let go by Koeman over the phone, and he scored a goal, and he just goes by him like that and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But,
I tell you, Romy, if she can put on a pair of goalkeeper gloves,
too right.
If she was still alive, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Chelsea's going to club that'll dig her up.
Too right.
Yeah. Trent, you Liverpool, you would be feasting on the Spanish babes.
There's lots of them over there, I tell you.
Absolutely. But would it mean more? Would it mean more?
Would
it mean more? There you go. But yeah, that was Amarin. I thought it was a little bit kind of. I don't know. I just, if it was me, like I know he can handle that kind of thing, and obviously he's handling it his way. He's not on the bench. He's not being played. All that kind of stuff. So it's very clear what his message is. Whether you put it out like that at a time where you're trying to find a home for a guy, and while you're crying out for funds that you need to start your rebuild of the squad and everything else, it's just, for me, it's just.
Listen, I just think as well, he's not long out of a change room himself. He knows the ins and outs. It's not his first rodeo. As a player, he knows what some of the younger lads are like to deal with, to play with. So he knows the standard he wants, and I believe him and Garnacho have had a conversation on Friday afternoon. I believe he's happy with the progress Garnacho has made in training, adjusting to the system and stuff like that, and that he's going to hold on to him. So the rumours about Chelsea and Napoli, hopefully, that will put all that to an end. Like,
don't know, not too sure.
There is talk about Toby. Yeah, there's talk about Toby if he's doing well, that he'll be sent out on loan or whatever. So,
seen a picture the other day, Napoli top of the league, and McTominay on the picture.
Yeah. He scored again last week and stuff.
He's doing fantastic.
I said this on the show. We should have never sold him, like,
Yeah, you won't need him to do a picture around me because he's already all over the banners all over Madrid, modeling Spanish clothes and everything and all. So he doesn't need. Could it be any more obvious?
He was unlucky. He was unlucky with the goal as well to be reeled off. He was.
Such a weird one as well, wasn't it? With the intricate kind of playing, he just kind of ran on it. It's like he nearly took it off another player and scored.
Yeah.
That kind of.
And then Bruno was about to shout at him because Bruno was going in for it and he scored, and it was kind of like, all right. Celebrate, but you could see Amarin and the coaching staff watching the replay and the monitor on the bench. So yeah, unlucky, but listen, it was that late in the game, it didn't take any momentum. We just had to see it out then at that stage,
Yeah, absolutely. What about this boy? Amarin regrets taking the United job.
Oh, lads, Paul Mercer.
Never a dull moment with this guy, is there?
Paul Mercer. Him and, I've just been reading about him and Jamie O'Hara over the weekend. I'm just like, lads, give yourself a day off, will you? Jamie O'Hara just talks the most utter bullshit just to stay in the press with Talk Sport and everything else, But Mercer,
isn't
he? Yeah.
Surely he'd have no standards,
Yeah, that's very true. To be honest with you, after I see him on Strictly Come Dancing, I can't take him seriously anymore. I never really could take him serious anyway, but even more so now. But yeah, no, listen, he won't. He knew what was. We talked about last week. He wanted to come in at the end of the season, which would have been perfect. But he knew what he was coming into. He knew the shit that was going on behind the scenes. Ronaldo would have had a word and Bruno in his ear about the goings on in the club and stuff like that. They would have been fairly close before he took the job. So he knew what he was coming into. I just feel he probably isn't used to the intense media coverage of a club. Like, he wouldn't have gotten that over in Lisbon or when he was with Benfica playing and stuff like that. So he's probably adjusting to that. But I think he's doing excellent. I don't think he regrets taking it because he knows exactly what he's walked into. Like,
yeah, I think you could safely say it's more of a mess than what he thought it was.
Oh no,
But
100%.
but I think he seems like he's very much up for the challenge effectively.
Definitely, and he's got a great coaching staff there as well. That's been with him a long time. They'd be a massive support for him and stuff like that. So I just, again, for the fans and everyone else, give him time. He knows what he's doing. He needs to weed out the players that he needs to weed out. He needs to keep with the system. The players that we do have and we're keeping need to learn about the system and how to play it. I think one of the players, again, for me, who's been excellent over the last while is Harry Maguire, and to think to fall from grace. I sat in the Aviva Stadium when he's getting booed by his own fans and stuff like that. Obviously, he was linked heavily this time last year with a move away to West Ham and stuff, and he stuck to his guns, and he said, "No, I'm going to fight for my place," and he's been excellent, absolute excellent. And I've been one of the ones on here slagging him all the time, so I just wanted to give him props there.
Well, speaking of Merson, did I mention this man?
Hey.
Mo Salah overtakes Thierry Henry in the Premier League goal scoring charts. Really enjoyed that. That made my weekend. The only thing that would have made it better would have been Wolves win. Yeah, but absolutely. But listen, as I said in my tweet, I wouldn't dwell on it because next stop is the blue side of London and Frank Lampard, and it could be there by next weekend. He's knocking off names pretty sharpish at the moment. He also has the most.
Who's above Frank then?
Is it your boy? Could be Rooney. I'm not too sure. It could be, but I think there's a gap to that. I think there's a gap to that. I think it's either Rooney next or Rooney is the one after.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, I didn't download the full one. He's also leading in Europe as well for the most goal contributions.
So after Frank, it's Aguero with 184.
Aguero 84. So that would be.
Then number 4, Andy Cole, 187.
Rooney's third, is he?
Rooney's third with 208. Harry Kane is 213. Obviously, Alan Shearer's 260.
So, Mo, if you want to catch Alan Shearer, you need to sign for another 3 years and maintain the level. That's all you got to do. You could really enshrine yourself in history. Just stay for the 3 years.
Well,
don't worry about that Saudi money.
Looking at it there, like he'd be taking over Aguero soon as well. 184, like.
Yeah, what's he off that now? 84, so he's 8 off Aguero.
Yeah, that's easily done. Still plenty of games to be played.
You're right, Tiernan, and actually I have a little foil on that actually that I could break out. The Hazard can't even lay Salah's boots. I can tell you now, I had a comparable on both of them that I found last night. It's not even close. I don't know how it's even a conversation.
Tiernan, this man does his homework all the time.
Tell you now, this man is like. Did I even download it? Actually, let me see.
How many? Like 2 seasons, possibly. He was decent for Hazard.
I think I saved this, and I'll break it down for you, and then we don't need to have the conversation anymore because it ain't even close.
Put it to the side. Yes. Rowan is actually a big Hazard fan. If he's still in the chat.
This phone is so slow.
Yeah, I think he only 2 decent seasons, didn't he? Really, like. I always remember.
Here we go. Here's the breakdown comparison. Right, Premier League goals, 172. So it's obviously 176 now. Hazard 85. Premier League assists 80 for Mo Salah, 54 for Hazard. Premier League golden boots 3 for Mo Salah, none for Eden Hazard. Premier League Player of the Year 2 for Mo Salah, 1 for Eden Hazard. Highest Ballon d'Or ranking, 5th for Mo Salah, which is shocking. 8 for Eden Hazard. UCL trophies in England, 1 for Mo Salah in England, of course. None for Eden Hazard. I love the way they do it, and I hate the way those stats are done that way. UCL goals, 46 for Mo Salah, 10 for Eden Hazard. UCL assists, 17 for Mo Salah, 15 for Eden Hazard. Trophies and individual awards, 23 for Mo Salah, 18 for Eden Hazard. Goals for Liverpool and Chelsea. Salah, 229, Eden Hazard, 110. And assists for Liverpool and Chelsea, 103 for Mo Salah, 185 for Eden Hazard. Best season, right? Best season, 58 GA for Mo Salah, 44 GA for Eden Hazard. Folks, good night and God bless.
Did you send that to Eno?
I haven't sent it to anyone. I'm telling you now, I will not. There's certain conversations I can tolerate if they want to talk about Gerrard, Lampard, and all that. I'm not tolerating Mo Salah versus Eden Hazard. It's over.
Are you just you're waiting to send that into the chat just to explode the place up?
I don't need it because it's not even an argument. It's not even a debatable point.
For certain Chelsea fans, they probably be adamant, but you have all the stats there. So
I'm happy that Vinny is ahead of Haaland and Palmer. Yeah, absolutely. Round, I am. Yeah, I take Hazard over Salah any day. Yeah, give over. Yeah. That ain't happening. But there you go. And what else have we got? Oh yeah, Mo Salah has just overtaken Thierry Henry. I don't know whether I mentioned that tonight or not. Just wanted to make sure I mentioned it.
We haven't talked about that. No, we haven't talked about that.
It's really important we talk about it, because Thierry Henry, for me, was such an unbelievable player and stuff like that. But there you go.
We'll see Niall on Arsenal Fan TV next week. He'll just get a flight over to the Emirates just to do that.
Hazard, when we had spent more time on the medical table. Absolutely, 100%. Versus a man who's rarely on the medical table. The man who's just overtaken Thierry Henry, by the way, in the goal scoring charts in the Premier League. Just to let you know. There we go. Just to let you know, that guy who handled that ball to put us out of that tournament, get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
54 appearances, what a waste of money he was. There you go. Happy with this? Seems like it's going to go ahead.
Yeah, reading into it, like you mentioned at the top of the show, and it will rejuvenate the surrounding area of Old Trafford.
I did put in the begging hands just for the fun.
Listen. No, but listen, it obviously I've been going to Old Trafford since I was 4. Was there obviously in July last year with the girls and brought them down. Georgia, loved it. Holly was kicking the ball outside Old Trafford, but we got the tram from St. Peter's Square up to Media City because we wanted to show the girls. There's the Blue Peter Garden is there, Children in Need and Coronation Street, and you can actually walk from there up to Old Trafford. But the walk, like the area walking through, it's like an industrial estate, but it's all derelict and it's just grubby looking, that sort of way. That there's another tram line that goes from the city centre out to the Trafford Centre that goes along there, but it needs more than a lick of paint. It just looks grubby around the place and stuff like that. Then at the other side of Matt Busby Way and stuff, there's a lot of derelict houses around there. The old kind of old style houses in Manchester, kind of that have been probably built in the 1930s, 1940s and stuff like that, and they all have to, the derelict houses.
Fowler would whip them up for a few.
That's
he knows point an old house or two.
That's it. But no, it has to be. There has to be money in the area. Obviously, the class of '92 tried to invest a bit with the building of hotel football and to try to do a bit around the surrounding area as well. But there's only so much they can do and themselves. But Gary Neville's jump on board with the task force and stuff like that. And it's great to see the government are investing. And yeah, it can only be a good thing, like you said, about the jobs and stuff that it's going to create around that area. And like I said, we are probably one of the biggest clubs in the world, but with the area, when you arrive there, you wouldn't think it. It's a lot of industrial parks and stuff like that. And
the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? The proof is in the pudding.
So now it's a delight when I hear the news, and hopefully now in a few years I'll be able to bring, when they're a little bit older, Georgia and Holly over for the game and stuff, because I have them singing the songs here and stuff like that. So don't need to get them over for a match.
Right. Enough of that.
Hey.
Well, what about this man? He's overtaken Thierry Henry in the goal scoring charts. Just want to mention that once more.
No, and is it next week he could go over Fat Frank?
He could. He's one off him. So he'd need to get 2 against Bournemouth. 2 against Bournemouth. Wouldn't be easy, but more than capable. Right, let's talk about this statement from the PGMOL. We are appalled by the threats and abuse directed at Michael Oliver following the Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Arsenal fixture. No official should be subject to any form of abuse, let alone the abhorrent attacks aimed at Michael and his family over the past 24 hours. The police are aware and a number of investigations have commenced. We are supporting Michael and all those affected and are determined to tackle this unacceptable behaviour. Sadly, this is not the first time a match official has been forced to deal with threats in recent times. We will continue to support all investigations. Now, before we get into this, the first thing we would say is we would never condone anything like that, any threats to someone's family or their life or anything like that. At the end of the day, it's a football game. And let's be clear about that. And last week we were on as well, or the week before, we were talking about lads wishing a miscarriage on Eden Hazard's, or not Eden Hazard's, Havertz's missus, Kai Havertz's missus, and all that.
There was a lad arrested for that. 17-year-old lad was arrested, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have seen some of the messages that was sent to him. One of the lads from the referees group put it up in one of these kind of WhatsApp pictures that you can only see once and then it goes off. So I seen him and it made me stomach turn.
The young folk call it Snapchat.
Well, Deedles with Rowan and Tiernan with Loam, not down with all that, you know. But we've seen it, and
Rowan would definitely be a Snapchat guy, I'd say.
100%,
100%.
Yeah, and he's a catfish as well. But it made me stomach turn because it really did. Vile messages, not even aimed at him as well. Like you said, his family and stuff, and like you go to referee a game of football, you can be as honest as you want, and you can make mistakes, but it's not life and death, you know. It really isn't. It's football. It's, you know, yes, people. Listen, we'll get into the decision and stuff like that. But what I read was absolute vile. It was it made me sick. It really do. Even thinking about it now, I'm just getting angry. Like, you know, that's the way. As a referee myself, I've been out there, made decisions. But if I knew someone was trying to, like, on social media threaten my family, I swear to God, cause seriously.
Yeah, I seen this. Did you see this the other night? The Valencia president.
He's not the only, not the only manager to concede. What was it, 7-1 in the end?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it was actually, yeah.
But no, listen, go.
You know who was in goals, don't you?
Your mate, isn't it?
Our new signing.
Yeah. He's gonna send it back.
There you go. Bring back cute. There you go. Right, let's take this from a different angle, right? First of all, right, we don't condone any of that, right? But it's there's a massive level of frustration out there at the moment on how this system is operating.
Yeah.
Friends for the lad, or the jobs for the lads, all this kind of stuff. VAR is just a scourge these days. They seem like they don't want to implement a lot of the stuff that works really well in Europe, like the semi-automatic offside and all this kind of stuff. Now. But it's really, really frustrating, isn't it? And not frustrating to the point where you should ever go there, but frustrating to the point where, like, what did you make of the Skelly sending off? Have you watched it back? Have you seen the angles?
No, I have. I seen it, and to be fair, I think Oliver's got an absolute fantastic view of it. No one's impairing his vision. He's right there on top of it. I think at one of the angles you can see him like looking down, and you can see he's clearly looking at the challenge itself. I've been in a situation where you think one thing, like I think his studs are after going down. Oh, will I? Now, to me, it was a cynical foul. It was. I think was that who's reffing that one? Was that
who reffed? I'm not too sure.
It wasn't Taylor, was it? But for me, like I said, Michael Oliver's in a great position. Unless he's had a moment where he just thought, now listen, from an angle it looked the studs kind of going down, but it didn't look like it was forceful or I thought, to me, it's a cynical foul. You know, he's breaking up a promising attack, which, But
the letter of the law says anything above the ankle.
Yeah. No, it is, but I don't know. It was just, and for me, you're looking at the VAR team saying, if you think it's a yellow card, Michael, can you just go over to the screen and have a look at that, please? Now, I've heard this and I've heard it 1,000 times that, and Craig, he's probably not in the chat now, had said it when Michael Oliver was coming through, when he's coming through the championship and stuff. I said it to Craig. I said, this new lad coming to the Premier League next year is top referee and he's going to be class. But it just seems there's a deterioration with some of the decisions. And in fact, when Craig was over here last 2 weeks ago, we were watching the United Arsenal game and they know VAR. You're seeing a bit of a different refereeing scenario. They were, because they're so reliant on VAR now, so they know if they make a decision and it's wrong, it's grand, VAR, back me up, and they didn't have it then. It's like they have to adjust themselves and go back in time to when they first started off at grassroots level and they no one else to help them.
Wasn't that the game where there was a foul and the player told the ref to check with VAR? And the ref had to tell him there was no VAR.
Sure, sure. I think it was Harry Maguire said it to him.
How do we get with this? Like, how do we go from you're playing cup games where there's no VAR, then you're going playing in Europe where there's a different set of rules to VAR and the way it operates, and then you come back to the Premier League and it's kind of officiated in another kind of way and stuff like that, and like no one ever wants to get a decision wrong. There's no ref wants to get a decision wrong. But I kind of find with some of them as well, they just don't want to be corrected either. Like if he goes to the monitor and takes a look at that. Now, I mean, what's your view? Your view, was it a red?
Personally, I didn't think it was. I thought it was a yellow card. To be, and like we'll talk about the Wolves second, which could have been the second yellow, which could have been a straight red. I felt for the tackle because it was endangering the safety and performance.
What was he thinking?
It was forceful. It was a horrible tackle. I thought that was worse than the Arsenal one. And again, it's up to, like, we're sitting here. I think Acers in the chat said it was a red card. We're saying it's not. So like, it's a difference in opinion. And I've said this 1,000 times on this program. It's the person that's there. It's their opinion. It's in the referee's opinion, and everyone's opinion is different. You're never going to get it's a black and white because it's someone that is interpreting the laws of the game. So you could see it a different way than I do. And I always give this example, like you're in Abbottstown, there's something on the screen. Right, lads, hands up if you think it's this, hands up if you think it's that. And the room is split. And this is a room of referees that have gone and done the course and this, that, and the other. So you're never going to get the consistency that we crave. Yes, in the Europe, you see in the other leagues, there's not as much. They seem to be more trained, or I don't know what it is, but it's just getting frustrating from a fan's point of view as well. You're kind of thinking, right, what are the actual laws? Like, what am I looking out for here? Because last week you didn't send him off, and this week you're sending him off for the exact same thing. So, like, where do we stand?
I think, do you know what it is as well? I think the problem with the refs as well is, and look, no disrespect when we're saying this, but Arsenal have spent the whole season crying about refs.
Yeah,
crying about decisions and stuff like that, and you really just do yourself no favors when you're doing that as well, because the expectation then is that it's going to happen, and if it happens, a ref gets it in his mind that it is cynical because that's the way it is, and and then you get this us against them, and we went through a period of that as well. When last season, remember at Spurs with Diaz and the goal and like we were crying week in, week out, Klopp was eventually to the point where he decided himself, I'm just not going to talk about it anymore, and he stopped commenting on it. And things just got a little bit better then. But up till that point, every single decision was seen as one against us or against us. It's just versus VAR. People were reporting stuff, reports were going in, stuff like that. The one thing I would say, and it always really bugs me as well, that every 2 weeks we get a show on Sky and Howard Webb comes out with Michael Owen and they go through the stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't see that in Europe. I don't see La Liga having a show like that. I don't see the French league or the German league having a show like that. And maybe they do. But I just think
there doesn't, even in the press, there doesn't seem to be, like, you obviously would hear about it in the press, as I'm sure the rest of Europe hear about all the Premier League decisions, so you would hear about it. But it's just, like I said, that inconsistency isn't there, and obviously that consistency isn't there. It's so inconsistent. And then you have, again, I don't know if did anyone see Ref Watch today or whatever, but like Dermot Gallagher was saying, like, you know, I think it was it Warnock had said, do you think it's because it was one of his mates in VAR and stuff like that he didn't, and like Oliver's a more senior official, he didn't want to overrule him, and so he went along with the decision. Like, you're hearing a lot of things like that as well, and for me as a referee, you can only do what's in front of you. If I think someone, like in cup finals, you have the two assistant referees at schoolboy level. That's the only time you have them, is at a cup final out in the AUL grounds, or if you're fortunate enough to be able to referee in the Kennedy Cup, that's when you have them. And all I always say, lads, if you see something that I don't, or if you see something that you think I've done wrong, let me know, because you have to have the character to say, right, I've made a mistake. But he's there to, that's why he's called an assistant referee. He's there to assist me and say, listen, because as a referee, the lads probably won't know this. They probably think referees run in a straight line, but we usually run corner to corner. So if you're running corner to corner, the pitch is more open, you know, that sort of way.
You're on the diagonal, so you have a better view of everything.
Exactly. It's more open. You can see more. So when you're running corner to corner, I always tend to run in the corner where the assistant referee is over that side. So you're looking out there and the assistant referee is on that side. So you have your back to the line where there's no assistant referee. So he's there to help and see what you can see over there. So I'd always say that, lads, if you see something that you think I've done wrong, or call me over. It's listen, I'm big enough. I've been in the game long enough to know referees make mistakes, players make mistakes, managers make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes. It's how you deal with it and you turn around. So I don't know if it is a thing of, it's ego or what it is. But listen, I had said it for years that the investment in the training for referees, particularly over in the Premier League, has to improve. And these things are going to stop young referees wanting to become referees, or young lads wanting to become referees. Look, I've seen it here myself, because when I started doing the refereeing course, it must have been about 13 years ago, nearly 14 years ago now, I think it was €150 for the 2-day course, right? Which you'll make back in your first 2 weekends or your first weekend, whatever it may be. Now they're doing the referees course all over the country for free, because no one wants to become a referee. So they're trying to encourage people. You don't have to pay for it. And years ago, when I was doing it, I was out in the Oscar Trainer in Coolock there. Then it moved to Abbottstown, because that's where the FAI went. Now they're literally going to every county in the country. You'll see it on the FAI. They're doing 3 in Dublin, and then they're doing nearly every county around the country, just to encourage referees to start. And the likes of this isn't helping. I know from hearing stories of young lads that would have liked to become referees, but they see what the abuse and everything that's happening in the Premier League. And listen, it does happen on a Sunday morning. You get an abuse. Like, referees have been
go watch an under-10s game anywhere and you'll see.
100%. I know lads that were attacked in car parks and stuff like that,
Absolutely. I just think there's just a weird balance there at the moment. It's under the microscope. You've got issues with the refereeing. You've got issues with the players as well. And then what's crept into the game so much more now is a massive issue with the benches in terms of the assistant coaches and all that kind of stuff. Many more of them now are getting
100%. I don't know if you've seen it. I was actually delighted when I heard about this yesterday. Katie McCabe got sent off for using foul and abusive language towards the referee yesterday in the women's WSL game. I thought that was fantastic, because by the laws of the game, you cannot use foul and abusive language towards a referee. It issues a straight red card. And many times we see in the Premier League, players surround the referee screaming in their face, and nothing is done.
I think the problem, if you put it into the men's level in the Premier League, you're going to end up with like 2 5-a-side teams basically by the end of the
game. No, you would, but listen, why can't they do it in rugby? In rugby, if something like that happens, the referee will call the 2 captains over, have a little chat with them. It's all heard on the microphone. No other player is to approach a referee.
I just think with that, though, it's just so much more structured. It's so much more contained, it's so much more generally black and white as well, isn't it?
It can be, but we should be taking something from it, because you can't have that level of abuse. Because if 100% here, because if you see players if you're a coach, if you see the players getting away with it, you're going to start shouting from the sideline. Obviously, you're going to get is caution that you can get, but they don't do that.
What did you make of the tackle on Endo the other day? And Ciso came on and nearly decapitated him.
From the angle I seen, he went in very, very high. I didn't see if the studs caught his chest or not. It looked like it was high in the chest anyway.
Yeah, but it was more than me.
Yeah, I seen him come. He leads in with the studs, and then he kind of goes up like that, and nearly takes his head off. Which if you're getting the knees close to someone's head like that, you're endangering his safety on the field of play, which should result in a red card.
What did you make of the Premier League having the high foot challenges guidelines? And this is the image they use for it. That wasn't even deemed a foul.
I'm trying to think who was ref in that. What was it, Taylor, or was it? It
feels like a Tierney one, doesn't it?
Was it Tierney?
I don't know, but it feels like something like that. I'm not too sure.
Was it our mate who got suspended? Was it him?
I don't think it was.
Any lads in the chat? Can you Google that for us?
Yeah, let us know who the ref was for the McAllister Doku challenge last season.
Because that should have been a straight red anyway.
Yeah, Phillips saying refereeing in rugby is better And soccer, I said that before on your show.
Yeah, no, you're right, 100%, Phil.
Yeah, but see, it's that lack of, you spoke about it before, that lack of respect. Like there's no respect at the level of officiating. There's no respect at the player level. And then we've seen it with managers. Like, look at Arteta. He's one example. Klopp used to do it as well. Just go perplectic, like, on the sideline. Go crazy up into, like, we seen with Klopp and all what happened with the fourth official and stuff like that and all. Like, it's just, and then you have more and more benches getting involved. Was it Michael Oliver? Was it? It was Michael Oliver for that one as well, was it?
There you go. Surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. So yeah, crazy. But yeah, it's just mad times, and they need to get a hold of it. They need to instill it to the best of its ability. You know, and there was even talk today that maybe they should separate the referees from VAR, and VAR should be its own independent thing. Well, so, like, your mates aren't in the VAR booth, or your peers, or whatever it is.
I said this years ago, or said this before on the show years ago. David Ellery approached former professional footballers, whether it be from Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, and offered them to do the course and get in, you know, integrate them into the world of refereeing. And I think, was it he said when we was at the referee meeting over here, they approached 53 ex-professional footballers, and now there was some that were of foreign nationality but had played in England and were still living in England. Out of those 53, one said he would do it.
Yeah.
So it just shows you, all the experts can sit on, you know, on this chair and analyse a game after a game on a Saturday or Sunday, but they wouldn't have the balls to go and do it. I remember Neville and Carroll went out to St. George's Park to do the training with the referee, but none of them would actually do it. You know, so you can't complain about having the lads, you know, jobs for the boys. The lads are there, VAR, if no one else is willing to do it. So, do you know what I mean? You can't have the best.
I suppose from my point of view, if you look at, say, the overlap, for argument's sake, I wouldn't be overly comfortable if Neville was reffing a game and Carragher and Keane were in the VAR booth with Ian Wright, and they're all kind of pals. You know that kind of way. I think if there was some sort of separation, because I tell you, the Web own show just bugs the hell out of me.
I'm looking forward to that now for the Arsenal and Wolves game from Saturday. So that should be in another week.
You know what they're gonna say.
Listen,
they're gonna come up with some sort of sloppy
100%.
stuff. And you know that show will be overshadowed by the level of abuse and the statement, because that's what that show will center around. Yeah. You know what I mean? And again, we don't condone it, but at times I don't think the refs, the VAR, and the PGMOL, I don't think they do themselves any favors either. And I think that there's a level of frustration there, but again, should never spill to that level.
And listen, I know this won't, like, you know, whatever, but Michael Oliver, he is a human being, and he's, as part of it, the Premier League referees, he is the lowest, and I've said this before again on the show, they're the lowest paid of the top 5 leagues in Europe as referees. I know that people are, well, whatever, but like, there's no money getting invested into the grassroots, or the FA aren't investing in referees, and as simple as that. If you're not going to do that, this is going to be the end product.
Yeah, they earn good wedge though in the Prem.
What's it?
They earn good wedge in the Prem.
Still. They do, but it's still not the highest paid in Europe. Like, not even close to it.
It's scary as well, isn't it, when you think about it?
Like I said, you have Michael Oliver on, say, 1,500 a game, and he's referencing Marcus Rashford, who's on 350 a week.
And he doesn't even have to ref Marcus Rashford. They're still on 350 a week.
Exactly, yeah.
There you go. Rashford should go do the refs course.
Sure,
bump the money up by another 50.
Well, I've seen a few referees in the schoolboy grounds over here, which you would have as well, that just stand in the centre circle. So Marcus Rashford would be very good at that, I'd say.
I'm not going to complain. I would be one of those refs, I'd say. I'm not going to complain.
I always said very early on, if I'm reffing and I can't keep up a play, I can't justify giving a decision.
Now, see, my secret to that is just make sure you've got 2 quality linesmen.
The assistant referees, lean on them, lean on me.
There you go. I'd never go to VAR. Too much trouble.
You
Right,
just go
folks,
to the car. You go to the car.
go to the car. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, folks, that's it. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, drop a like on the video. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Royal Rumble show. We're going to be giving out numbers tomorrow night for the Royal Rumble. If you happen to be lucky enough to win on one of those numbers, your number will be valid for the men's, the women's, and the OTT Loco Rumble as well. And if you win on any of those, we got some hats and shirts and maybe some mugs, whatever's
I'm
over
tuning
there.
in.
Anyway,
I'm tuning in tomorrow.
Mark's in straight into the chat. Give me my number and then out of there.
Yeah. It's honky tonk man in it, no?
No, well, never say never.
That's
Never
it.
say never. Never say never.
Well,
One
if
of the
he does,
greatest
I'll get.
Intercontinental champions.
If he comes back and wins on Saturday, I'll wear the jumpsuit here on Monday night.
Careful.
Do you remember that down the RDS cut?
I could start that.
Just get the pictures out from the RDS that time, do you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. Big up, William. Appreciate that as always, pal.
Yes,
So
Will.
if you haven't, folks, make sure you like the video as well. It's also important. So on the way out, just drop a little like on it and stuff like that as well. And if you feel like sharing it, we'd be very happy around your socials if you do that as well. Any support you can give us is always greatly appreciated. We'll talk to you again real soon. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Royal Rumble show, as I said. And as always, stay safe, folks. Talk to you soon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, lads.